Hi YouTube, from Fat to Fit here, Siggy here saying hi. I am sitting in my breakfast nook making this video because I've got some laundry to fold and some more housework to do. Let's see, today is Monday, January 18, 2016, and 28 years ago on Martin Luther King's Day, and I'll never forget because it was Martin Luther King's Day, I got engaged. I don't know the exact time, but it was in the afternoon, and it was by the beach, and my husband proposed with a rose, and I think some glasses of champagne, and he wrote a poem, and I don't think I got my ring on that day because I don't think so. But anyways, I lost my ring since then, and I am wearing a replacement ring, which is not really real, but well, maybe one day I can afford one when I have less stress in my life and I'm not running all over the place and I won't lose it again. So it's a long story. If you're interested, let me know. Okay, so here's where I'm at. This is unbelievable how the weeks just fly by. It's pretty scary. I'm at week number 40, so I guess that's 10 months according to the weeks, but I don't have 10 months until I hit February the 9th, and today's the 16th. So I'm kind of like, let's see, 16. There are 30 days, so that's 2 weeks in January and about a week and a few days. So I would say I'm like 3 weeks away, so it's less than a month, but more than a couple of weeks. So I still have time is what I'm concerned about, because even though my weight loss is slowing down, obviously, my goals have not, and also, you know, you have this window of 12 months or a year, but that's not necessarily the case, because you can continue to lose weight up to 18 months, and I'm sure there are people who are on YouTube that I know they're like week 105 or something, and they keep on making these videos. I don't know if I'm going to be that kind of person. It all depends on what I'm doing and if it's informative enough. So, okay, so back to the beginning. I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy on Thursday, April the 9th, 2015, with Dr. Robert Casillas, who was my bariatric surgeon. However, I have to also give credit to my primary care physician, Dr. William Howell, who also works for Kaiser in West Los Angeles, who agreed to let me go through with this procedure, and it was something that I've been thinking about for a long time. But you know, I guess the pieces of the puzzle came together at that time of my life, and I'm so grateful for having this opportunity, and I want to continue to be grateful. And I do. I pray every day when I'm taking a bath, and I say my prayers. Some of them, they're in Hebrew, and then I sometimes translate them into English. I don't have a siddur, not a siddur. I don't have a prayer book with me in the bathtub, but it's not a bad idea, and I don't want to bring electronics, so actually I just memorize them from my heart. But if I really want to be serious about prayer, in the Jewish tradition, you're supposed to say the Amidah 3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening. Now, if I could do once a day, I think that would be great. So I'm going to keep short-term goals. So I think prayer has helped me a lot, because it makes me realize that, yeah, I do have control of certain things, but there are certain things I have no control over. And so you have to kind of like let things go and just let God take over. So you have to trust in Hashem, which is the Hebrew word for God, and you have to believe in yourself, and we're all given challenges. That's why we're here on this plane, and we have to grow with each challenge that comes our way. And it seems like as you get more mature, it seems like the challenges get harder and harder. So I just pray that I can make it through the day, and that whatever challenges come my way, that I can meet them with clarity, with wisdom, with calmness, and with courage. So I'm not only do I pray for myself and my family and their relatives and their extended relatives, I pray for the whole world, especially about our planet and keeping our planet healthy. I want it to be here for a long, long time. So, geez, I just sidetrack all the time. I guess I get easily distracted. So the reason why I'm talking about prayer is because I guess that spiritual side of me was lacking, and I did try to feel, I do a lot of metaphysical reading and whatnot, and I like to study the Bible, but prayer is a little different because it forces you to have a connection with God on a daily basis, and not when you're just, oh God, I need your help now. God has to be in your life all the time. Okay, so, all right, so my heaviest weight was 294, which was recorded in 2006 when I had pneumonia, and I was suffering with chronic bronchitis. It was just very, very bad. Okay, so now coming back to the current times, last year I started Kaiser in January of 2013, and I was dismissed from my school district on February 15th, 2013. So I no longer had health insurance, and we had to go on Cobra. Cobra's pretty expensive, and so at that point we switched health plans. And you know what? All things happen for a reason, and becoming a Kaiser member, even though I was pretty much against it, even though my parents had it for many years and they had surgeries and everything went successfully, I was just not used to it for myself. But it took like a month to make the change, and it was easy. So thank God that I belong to Kaiser, because my thyroid numbers were completely abnormal. I wasn't feeling well, and there was reason for that. So you can't just join Kaiser and next week have bariatric surgery. You have to be there for a certain amount of time. So I was working with my doctors. I was showing improvement. And so Dr. William recommended it, and I had to get an okay from my psychiatrist and from, then I did the classes, and also, who else had to approve it? A cardiologist had to approve it. So I had to have approval from various physicians. And then I did the classes, which were 12 weeks. And I know from hearing that in the past it used to be like 6 months, and they've reduced it. And they say that it takes about 12 weeks to make a change in your life. And that's about true. So before I started the classes, I weighed in at about 280, and my weight was just going up and up, and I couldn't control it. I'm diabetic, I was on insulin, I was on oral medication, I was on a lot of medication, and which is not good for you. So then I had my surgery. On the day of surgery, I weighed 269, which was not easy for me to get to. But unless you lose weight, they won't do it. And I was stressing out about my weight loss during the whole time. I would lose weight up and down and this and that. And then my surgeon said to me, why should you have the surgery? Why? I have a patient who in a year lost only 4 pounds. And, I was really scared. And I said, doctor, please, by the time of my surgery, I promise that I had to lose like 5 more pounds. And I did do that by the grace of God. It was not easy. And I had the surgery, and last week, week 39, I was at 179.9, and I was expecting my period. And when I told Dr. Casillas, I have my period, or I'm getting my period, he said that's not an excuse. And you know what? He was right. because it's not an excuse, because you can still lose weight when you have your period, but I used it as an excuse, and I'm trying not to, but I still use it as an excuse. So this week, week 40, I came in at 179.5, so that's a weight loss of 0.4 pounds. And yes, I did get my period yesterday. And why my period takes over my life is because I'm a 54-year-old female, I hope you can tell, and I'm still getting my period, and you know what, enough is enough, but if it's meant to happen, then let it happen, but it just is so stressful and so irritable, and then I get in pain, my back hurts, it's hard for me to exercise. And speaking of exercise, I went to UCLA's pool and I swam 2 miles yesterday, and I did it in 2 hours and 20 minutes. So the week before, last week I took off because I wasn't feeling that good, but the week before I was at 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I improved my my time by 5 minutes, which doesn't seem a lot, but for me as a swimmer, it is a lot. So for next week, God, I would love it if I could, you know, I want to get down to 176, because that would be a 100-pound weight loss. And right now I'm at a 97, let's see, 179, about 97 pounds. So I want to lose 3 pounds, and I'm afraid to say, oh yeah, I'm going to lose 3 pounds. So let's say I could lose a pound and a half. So that would put me at 178. Yeah, if I can get down to 178, or let's say 177 and a half. So if I could lose 2 pounds, that would be totally amazing. So you'll just have to wait and see. And I sometimes get really bad abdominal pain, and you know, I do take omeprazole every morning, but you know what, it turned out to be my menstrual cramps, and I don't know why they were that high. So I don't know if that has to do with my surgery or not, but I'll ask my doctor when I see him in April if this continues. Also, I am glad to report that I am no longer on blood pressure medication. I have stopped. I was on 2 pills a day, then I take losartan 25 milligrams, then I did 1 pill a day, and I do monitor my blood pressure, like when I go to CVS or I go to my parents' house, and it's normal, and it's actually below normal. So that medication is gone. So it's very exciting, and that's I've spoken more than enough. So it's time to say goodbye, and I will see you next week, which will be week 41, and it will be the 25th of January, and Mercury will no longer be in retrograde. Hallelujah. Bye.